I hope you guys can see me and you can hear me as well. Let me know if that is true. We are going to start the session in a second. So I hope all of you can hear me and you can see me. So we are starting with a small or important message. Okay, तो शुरू करते हैं.
This cricket season, BYJU'S Exam Prep के साथ runs बनाओ और rewards पाओ. Participate in our Score to Win contest and stand a chance to win cricket merchandise and guaranteed discount on the purchase of our online classroom program. All you need to do is answer one simple cricket-related question. So what are you waiting for? Play to win now. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, so I hope you have seen the ad, the promo video, and you would do what it says. All right, तो जरा मैं देख लूँ पहले कि कोई session में present है कि नहीं. Now remember guys, this session, some of you might be watching me on the app and some of you are watching me on the YouTube live. I will shift from one to the other, right? So it might sometimes take some time. Don't worry about it. I'll try to read as many messages as I can, but remember, reading all the names may not be possible. Okay, sometimes I get messages from students saying that you did not take my name, so you were not looking at my name, you're ignoring me and things like that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, obviously. Too many names, तो नाम थोड़े से छूट जाते हैं. Okay, so do not worry too much about it. I can see Ishan, Pinky, Ashwita, Vanshika, Ronak, and I can see like plenty of names already in the YouTube chat. So I think अब नाम लेना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया. Okay, now let me quickly tell you what are we going to do in this session. Now some of you have been attending our sessions practically non-stop. You have been with us for last 1 year, which we appreciate a lot. Obviously बहुत appreciate करते हैं the fact that you have been with us in the journey, and hopefully we have been able to help you, right? And this is the last lap to CLAT. So in the last few days we are trying to do our best to make sure that your preparation is world class. It is top of the line, correct? तो हम ये try कर रहे हैं last के थोड़े जो भी अभी थोड़े से time बचा हुआ है उसके अंदर. Now in today's session I'll quickly tell you हम क्या करने वाले, what are we going to do. So we are going to discuss two basic things and we will solve some questions also, so that you guys understand what exactly these two fundamental things are in critical reasoning. Okay, in critical reasoning two things are very fundamental and students get mighty confused in those two fundamental things. One of course is known as the assumption. Okay, but this we will take up in some other session. All right, तो ये हम करेंगे, we'll take it up on 25th May, है ना? So please make sure that you attend that session, don't miss that session. So we would do assumption in a separate session. Okay, we are doing it in a separate session, so I'm not touching it a lot today, in fact not touching it much. So what are we discussing today? We are discussing what is a premise and what is a conclusion. These are two basic things we are going to discuss. Now you would say, come on, we know all this. Obviously this is revision, right? Last lap है, revise तो कर लो एक बार, correct? And obviously I will not give you hard questions, very easy questions, but questions that will check your fundamental understanding. But I will start by telling you what these are, right? I'll give you a basic idea about them, then only we would do some questions. All right, understood everybody? Let me know in the chat. Now remember, I cannot take your names, too many students, and practically taking all the names would be very difficult, है ना? But obviously सबका स्वागत है और everybody is welcome and I'm glad to have you all here, right? Okay. Now remember guys, questions like how many marks should I take and how to arrange time, how to allocate time. We have a session tomorrow for that. Okay, 8 o'clock we are meeting tomorrow. You can discuss issues in critical reasoning, in English, or in other sections also, how to manage time, etc. We are doing it tomorrow. I am not taking it up today. Otherwise we would end up not doing any, right? वो कुछ भी नहीं हो पाएगा, ना इधर के रहेंगे ना उधर के रहेंगे. Okay, so I'm not discussing that. I am purposefully not taking that up today. Okay, all right. So let's start. I can read your chat, guys, but I'm not responding to individual chat because that will make the session very long, है ना? But any issues related to time allocation, problems during the mocks and the actual CLAT, what kind of problems you might face and how to tackle all those, we'll discuss it tomorrow. So don't miss. We have already got the thumbnail ready and all, so you can like the session and I'll meet you tomorrow for that particular session. तो कल करेंगे वो, okay? ठीक है, आज नहीं discuss कर रहे. So let's quickly discuss these three words. Now obviously some of you know all these, or most of you already know because you have been preparing, but मैं एक बार फिर से revise करवा देता हूँ. Okay, so first of all, what is a premise? So premise is defined as the information or facts or even statements that form the basis for a conclusion. Correct? For a conclusion. Now very clearly you can ask questions like, so can we have a statement which is a conclusion without a premise? Technically you can have a conclusion without premise also, technically, okay, but I'm not getting into that. वो unnecessary technical है, वो फायदा नहीं है कुछ करने का. So what is the first thing we learn? The first thing we learn is that any information or facts or statements that form the basis for a conclusion is known as premise. Correct? Now premise can be of two types. One is known as implicit premise, right? Implicit premise is also known as assumption. We'll discuss more about it on 25th May, so I'm not discussing it today, obviously, right? So हम इसको करेंगे discuss, आज नहीं कर रहे. Okay. Second, you can also have explicit premise, right? Explicit premise is written in the argument. So whatever is openly written in the argument, it's called explicit premise. Whatever is not written but should be there in the argument to help you reach the conclusion is called assumption. Okay, so implicit premise is known as assumption. Explicit premise, we call them premise. You add both of them, you add premise and assumption, you reach conclusion. So conclusion is like the roof, premise are the walls you can see, and assumption is the basement structure in the basement. Okay, it's inside the ground, you can't see, but it is very important for the entire roof to stay. Conclusion roof है, premise outer walls है, assumption जमीन के अंदर है, इसके बिना काम नहीं चलता, तो ये जरूरी है for the conclusion. Correct? Now, can you get a question on premise itself? Which of the following is a premise? Yes, you can get. CLAT ने कसम नहीं खाया है कि हम नहीं पूछेंगे. CLAT can ask you anything, right? They can ask you to identify explicit premise. They can ask you to identify implicit premise. They can ask you to identify direct conclusions also. Correct? So what is the first thing we should learn? How to identify explicit premise. Now you would say ये तो बड़ा मतलब मजाक वाली बात है. You said premises are written in the argument, so if it's written we can recognize it easily. Yes, but still we need to revise it once. That's the whole purpose behind these classes. No, एक बार revise तो कर ले, देख तो ले कि सब ठीक ठाक है कि नहीं, है ना? That's very important. So let me take you to at least one odd question or two questions so that I am sure that okay, you know which part is premise and which part is conclusion, right? So let's start with the basic argument. So here is a small paragraph. You have only 45 seconds. Read it very fast. जल्दी से पढ़ लो. You have only 45 seconds, guys. Quickly. Then I'll show you the question. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll read the chat. आप paragraph पढ़ लो जल्दी से. Ayushi, not at all. Premise and inferences are very different. Don't get confused. Okay. Rabinder Malik, I'll try to help you. Time up हो गया? Okay. चलो. All right, everybody. Now As you have read the paragraph already, it's very easy for you to answer, है ना? Now I hope I don't end up hiding any option. Now please quickly read and tell me which of the options you saw are premises, है ना? So you have 4 options A, B, C, D. जल्दी से पढ़ के बता दो which one you think form the basis for the conclusion. Now don't ask me which one is the conclusion, okay? You are the judge, you are the jury, you decide. जल्दी से option बता दो, okay? Anushka Jaiswal, yes. The answer to your question is yes. Implicit by definition is not written. And implicit का मतलब ये लिखा नहीं है ना? चलो, very good, very good. That's what I was expecting, of course. D. बहुत बढ़िया, very good. Absolutely. I told you laddu questions है ना? बिल्कुल. Now look at the paragraph, guys. It says the WHO figures are wrong clearly. We can very easily see that author is presenting his or her opinion here, right? The author is saying WHO का सारा figure गड़बड़ है. All the data that WHO is giving is wrong. Right? Author is coming to a conclusion here. So which one is the basis? Author has used this one, this and this to come to this. So which one is the premise? All 4. Absolutely. कोई डाउट नहीं इसके अंदर, राइट? आंसर क्या होगा? ऑल 4, राइट? नाउ यू वुड से ये तो बड़ा आसान था, डेफिनेटली, बट मतलब हो सकता है द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज स्लाइटली हार्डर, आई डोंट नो, बट आई कैन सी फ्रॉम योर कमेंट that some of you still get confused between premise and inference. After this session you will not get confused. That I personally think is going to happen. इस सेशन के बाद, इस रिवीजन के बाद बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. जल्दी से पढ़ लो पैराग्राफ, देन आई गिव यू द क्वेश्चन. ओके, जल्दी से एवरीबॉडी. यस. Ten seconds left. All right, everyone. Now we would go to the question. You know the question already, है ना? Question तो पता ही है क्या आने वाला है. So, please identify the premise in the paragraph. Premises, okay? आपको ढूंढना है premise कौन सा. Now remember, guys, the numbers are written here. What I suggest is you make a note quickly according to you which one is a premise. Suppose you think all 4 are premise, or you think 1 and 3 are premise, you think 2 or 3 are premise, whatever you think. So अपने copy पे note कर लो, and I'll show you the options and you send me the answer. Okay, so do a quick reading of the paragraph, decide which one is a premise according to you, and then when I show you the options, you send me the answer. All right, chalo. Udeshi, we have been preparing so that we can teach you better, है ना? Okay, everyone. Now you send me your answer, right? You have multiple options. You decide and send me the answer. Okay. This one is also easy, fairly easy, है ना? मतलब कुछ इसमें मुश्किल नहीं है. But we are revising the concept. But आप आंसर भेज दो. C means 3 and 4, है ना? चलो मैं चेक करता हूँ 3 and 4. But देखते हैं और भी कोई आंसर्स आ सकते हैं. Maybe somebody thinks differently. C. सब C कह रहा है. अब सब कह रहे हैं तो मानना तो पड़ेगा ही. But I need to check first, है ना? चलो, let's go to the sentences once. C means, C का मतलब है 2 and 3, है ना? That's what 3 and 4. C means 3 and 4. So let's read it. Let's revise. Premises are what? Premises are the basis upon which a conclusion is made. Now listen to me very carefully everyone. बहुत ध्यान से मेरी बात सुनना. If you understand what is the conclusion, your task becomes easier. Okay, conclusion किसको बोलते हैं अगर समझ गए ना तो काम आसान हो जाएगा, right? तो एक बार मैं याद दिला दूं सबको जरा कि conclusion क्या होता है. In case you have forgotten, तो थोड़ी सी मैं याददाश्त तेज कर देता हूँ, है ना. Let me write it here. So because some of you have been coming to these sessions regularly, आप सब आते रहे हो सेशन, आपको आइडिया भी होगा शायद already that conclusion is the main point of the author, right? You can also call it the central idea of the author. You can also say it is the point the author would like to convince us about. अगर कोई पूछता है ना what is a conclusion, conclusion is what the author will try to convince you about. Suppose I say India has 390 people per square kilometer. It's a fairly congested country. Out of these two lines, I think all of you understand which one is the conclusion. Why? Because you can clearly see what is the point I am trying to make you convinced about. Am I trying to make you convinced about the fact that India has 390 people per square kilometer? I'm taking random data. Don't think I'm using correct data. Maybe it's wrong, but I'm just taking it. So am I trying to convince you about the fact that India has 390 people per square kilometer? No, I'm trying to make a point that India is a congested country. India congested है ये बताना है मेरा काम. Data तो use कर रहा हूँ to support it. Correct? So based on that, let's start. Let's start with option 1. According to many studies, the coronavirus pandemic had its origins in zoonotic transmission. Zoonotic transmission means transmission based or from animals. Do you think the author's point is this? Author is trying to convince you about this point? I don't see anything there as such, but let me read further. Studies have proved. If studies have proved, then very clearly author is not saying it's my opinion, or at least author is not trying to convince you about it. If I say studies have proved that milk is good for health, and studies have proved, I might be using this information to tell you something. For example, I might say studies have proved that milk is good for health, therefore you should drink milk. That is why advice, recommendation, these are called conclusion, right? But this says studies have proved. So this does not look like a conclusion. It can be a basis. Okay, let's go to third. SARS-like coronaviruses that originated in bats. Okay, sorry. It has been observed that genomic sequences of this novel coronavirus bear close resemblance. It has been observed. It's a fact. देखा है किसी ने शायद इसको, है ना? Scientist ने. Now it says scientists think. Now, pause everyone. Pause here and tell me. Everybody, pause and tell me. Options देखो एक बार फिर से, okay? Just have a look at the options and tell me. If I ask you that in this whole paragraph, author कहना क्या चाहता है? Why do you think the author wrote the paragraph? Why do you think the author took the pain to write this whole paragraph? बोलना क्या चाहते हो? If I ask this question, which sentence would you choose? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which sentence would you choose to show that what was it that the scientists or the paragraph or the author of the paragraph, जो भी होगा, या scientist, journalist, whoever, what was it trying to show or tell you? बताना क्या चाहता था? Can you tell me in the chat, please? One, two, three, four. You have 4 sentences. Why do you think the author wrote the paragraph? बात समझ आ रही है? Yes, very good. Now let me do another experiment, okay? हम experiment करेंगे ना, हम भी scientist हैं. एक experiment करते हैं, okay? चलो. Let me remove the 4th line. read line number 1 to 3. Don't you think if you read line 1 to 3 you feel something is missing? Don't you think you will ask yourself क्या बताना चाहता है ये? Zoonotic transmission बोला, फिर studies have proved, it has been observed. Point क्या है? This is how you find out what is the conclusion, what is the premise, or what are the premises. Always ask yourself, why did the author write all this? Whatever is the answer to that question, that is the conclusion. Whatever supports that particular point, that thing is called premise. I hope you got the point, yes or no? So remember, just now I received a comment 30 seconds, नहीं, around 90 seconds back. तो बड़ा आसान क्वेश्चन था पहला वाला, बिल्कुल था. But if they happen to ask you premise based questions, will they all be this easy? No. अभी देखो कितने लोगों के साथ धोखा हुआ है, yes or no? काफी तकलीफ भी हुई होगी. The correct answer was A, it was not C. I hope now you understood how to find out what is the conclusion, what is the premise. Conclusion is why did the author write it. Premise is what did the author use to tell you what the author was trying to tell you. Correct? समझ आया? Please try this everybody. Then I'll show you the question. Now obviously next question I'll take less time to explain. इस वाले में ज़्यादा लगाया so that you guys are clear about it, है ना? वरना फिर रात के 10 बजे तक क्लास चलेगी, वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Yes, please. Done. Arvind Malik is done. Arvind, I think you said no. Last question was easy. Let me know तुमने last question सही किया कि नहीं. ज़्यादा मजा आएगा. Yes, please. Done. All right. Here is the question, guys. ये तो छोटू सा question है, ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं लग रहा. I hope you can see the options. Let me just check. Option दिख रहे हैं ना? हाँ, ऑप्शन दिख रहे हैं. मैं थोड़ा सा ब्लॉक कर रहा हूँ बट दिख रहे हैं. Now this one can be difficult, so make sure you look at the options also. Okay, ध्यान से देखना, वरना क्वेश्चन अब ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा मुश्किल है, दिक्कत आ सकती है. ओके, डू लुक एट द ऑप्शंस ऑल्सो. हुज़ैफा क्या होगा तुम्हारे साथ? Ayushi A, Taha says B. Okay, but I will wait for everybody. A, B. Inza A, Scrubby B, Ali A. Now I'm very glad internally. Okay, तुम्हारे आंसर्स देख के काफी खुशी होती है, तुम सही आंसर बताते हो. तो मुझे लगता है कि आप टेंशन खत्म, क्लैट में तुम कुछ अच्छा ही करके आओगे, है ना? बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव टू मच टाइम लेफ्ट एंड वी हैव बीन इंटरेक्टिंग फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. तो तुम्हें पता तो है कैसे करते हैं इस लेवल पे. नाउ आई हैव लॉस्ट पावर एवरीवन, but I hope you guys can hear me. We'll continue the session. Let the power come back. Abhi, because of this rain etc. we have power issues here. Okay, but I hope there is no problem. बात तो कर ही सकते हैं, है ना? चलो. So what are the answers I can see? I can see A, D, B, A, D, B, A, B. अभी देखो आकाशवाणी वाली फीलिंग आएगी, पॉडकास्ट वाली. ओके, बट कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है ना, पढ़ने वाले जो पढ़ लेंगे. चलो, बस मुझे चीजें दिख जाएं. राइट. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी गिव यू अ स्मॉल झटका. ओके, udeshi.com बिल्कुल सही. एब्सोल्युटली, यू गॉट इट. बिल्कुल सही, एब्सोल्युटली. काफी लोगों ने सही आंसर किया है, सो दैट मेक्स मी वेरी हैप्पी. और देखो मैं वापस आ गया, पॉडकास्ट वाली फीलिंग चली गई. राइट एवरीवन, बट लेट मी टेल यू गाइस, आई एम जेन्युइनली हैप्पी। नहीं, लाइट आने की खुशी में नहीं, वो तो है ही। आई एम जेन्युइनली हैप्पी बिकॉज I can see a lot of you have developed the right approach towards premise and conclusion questions, क्योंकि तुमने बिल्कुल सही आंसर किया है। तो पहले मैं बता देता हूँ कि सही आंसर क्या है। ओके, तो ज्यादा फीलिंग अच्छी आती है ना ग्रीन वाला देख के। करेक्ट आंसर इज ओनली वन, इज द premise. Now you would ask why. ओके, मैं तुम्हें ट्रिक बताता हूँ। देखो, अगेन यूज द ट्रिक दैट आई यूज्ड इन द लास्ट क्वेश्चन. लेट मी रिमूव द फर्स्ट लाइन. ओके, रिमूव द फर्स्ट लाइन. नाउ रीड द पैराग्राफ एवरीबडी. पैराग्राफ पढ़ के देखो. You would notice that very clearly second and third are statements that the author wants you to be alarmed about. ऑथर चाहता है कि तुम थोड़ा घबराओ, ऑथर की बात सुनो, ऑथर की बात से कन्विंस हो जाओ, ऑथर को बोलो अरे बाप रे सही बात है यार, बहुत दिक्कत होने वाली है, there are lot of problems are going to be there in this region and I am alarmed. If you notice, the first line has been used by the author just as a piece of information, but second and third are the points that the author wants you to take note of. Main idea that you should read and say, oh my god, this is what is going to happen. You can also look at it like this. It says expected, correct? And many see the region as poster child for all that can go wrong. It is not something that has happened. It's talking about future. Naturally, it's an opinion of experts, of people who know things, but it is still an opinion. It is not something that the author is using to come to a point. It is the point the author is making. That means first, second statement and third statements are very clearly conclusion. The first has been used to help these two conclusions. I hope it is clear everybody. समझ आई बात? फिर से लाइट चलिए, घबराना मत, इट्स ओके, क्या कर सकते हैं, है ना? ऑल राइट. मूवीज मलिक, दैट इज उजैफा. यस एब्सोल्युटली, बहुत बढ़िया, करेक्ट. ऑल राइट एवरीवन, आई एम स्टार्टिंग द टाइमर. जल्दी जल्दी, 45 सेकंड्स ही हैं सिर्फ, सो बी फास्ट. टेन सेकेंड्स. एंड इट्स वेरी इजी. आई थिंक काफी आसान पैराग्राफ है, आराम से तुम सब कर सकते हो, बिकॉज यू गाइज हैव अंडरस्टूड इट प्रीटी वेल. आई थिंक कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए. तो सपोज आई मीट दिस ऑथर समवेयर, एन ऑथर से पूछता हूँ कि भाई साहब कहना क्या चाहते थे. आई थिंक द आंसर इज वेरी क्लियर, नो? ऑथर से पूछो अगर, भाई साहब इतनी कहानी लिख दी आपने, यू रोट सच अ ह्यूज पैराग्राफ, आप कहना क्या चाहते थे? So I think it's very obvious, no? Can you guys tell me the answer? Let's see what is the correct answer, है ना? But I'll show you the paragraph if you want. एक बार options देख लो, and I suggest you use pen and paper to write down your answer. फिर option देख के जल्दी से eliminate कर सकते हो. Okay, so just have a look at it quickly, and then I'll show you the options. Huh? So prepare your answer first quickly, and then I'll show you the options. Okay. All right. So I'm showing the options now. These are the options, everybody. Option B. Okay. Option B, A. Okay, so I'm getting A and B. A and B में चल रहा है लड़ाई. Those of you who are on app, I am switching between the chat. तो कभी कभी आपका chat मिस हो जाते हैं. Don't think I am not checking the app, but I'm checking both, so it is taking time. Okay. Gulshan, there is nothing called trick anywhere. Okay, it's all hard work. Vanshik, I am checking the messages, but obviously it's taking time because I'm switching between both. Okay, इस वजह से time लग रहा है. All right, everyone. So can we see the answer A? So right now we have like A and B. Mostly A. Some are saying B also. Am I right? हाँ. किसी ने C भी बोला है. A, B, C. All right, everybody. So let's go back to the paragraph एक बार. Paragraph देख लेते हैं. Now suppose I meet the writer of this paragraph. Okay. उनसे बोलता हूँ कि भाई साहब, why did you write all this? So option 1 says Saina Nehwal series has created a huge stir. Author is not convincing me about this. Author is informing. Former world number 1 had expressed past, informing. From a workload perspective, Saina's point can be understood. Author is still informing. However, it does look. Now the author is coming to a point. Author कह रहा है ऐसा लगता है. Author point पे आ रहा है. Should, advice पे आ गया. From a point, now the author has come to giving advice. मतलब पूरा इंडियन बन गया अभी, एडवाइस दे रहा है ना. इंडिया में we have this habit now. वो एडवाइस देते हैं दूसरे को. एक्सपीरियंस ना हो तो भी देते हैं. So Saina should have talked to BAI. So fifth is definitely conclusion, author's main point. And if you look at it, it says does look apparent. Author is coming to a point here also that it looks very clear that the reason was this, which means we can eliminate choices now. Fifth should definitely not be in our answer. So C and D are out. Correct. C or D out हो गए. Now 1 and 2 are present in A and B both. All I need to check is the third statement a premise or not? Premise or not means what? Conclusion है कि नहीं check कर लो. Was third a conclusion? No. So let's go for 1, 2, 3. That's all. Is it clear, everybody? I told you always use options as well as understanding. तभी मजा आएगा, तभी आप जल्दी कर पाओगे. Correct, everyone? So I hope you understood what was the correct answer and more importantly why it was the correct answer, right? And now I can clearly see people who started with the first question saying अरे बड़ा आसान है. Now those comments are coming less. So please remember, guys, premise based questions can also be asked and they can be like this. And of course you cannot simply ignore them saying ये तो premise है तो आता है. It's actually checking whether you understand premise, conclusion, both or not. You know, basic funda. All right. This one is pretty small. तो मुझे लगता है 2-4 बार पढ़ लिया हो तुमने. And easy also. है ना? All right. चलो, let's look at the sentences and options. अरे वाह, इसमें तो options सामने ही है. Okay. So we have 4 statements now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And you have to decide which one is the premise. Correct? आपको यही करना है. तो बता दो आंसर क्या है इसका. I can already see the answer. मुझे दिख रहा है कि आंसर कौन सा नहीं हो सकता. I can see that, है ना. So can we have the answer, please? Ronak on app. You can do that definitely, but you should have already done it by now. If you have not done it, please start जितनी जल्दी हो सके. Okay. Nandini, yes, I saw your comment just now. Right. So Nandini, Manvi on app. Asmita saying A. अरे वाह, क्या बात, सबके सब स्मार्ट हो गए या पहले से होंगे. That should bode well for India's farm exports. Author's main point है ना. Author कहता है that should be a good thing. तो author का opinion है, premise थोड़ी ना. Is that a premise? It's the author's opinion. So third should not be in my answer very clearly. So my answer should be either A or D. Now let me check fourth. There are expectations of the country's wheat. Expectations going to happen in future. Even mage exporters filling the void left by the, this is an expectation which will take place in future, not a basis. It can be author's main point. It is certainly not a basis. And 1 and 2 very clearly looks like pieces of information, है ना? So I can eliminate also that 3 and 4 answer में नहीं होना चाहिए. I can choose also that 1 and 2 होना चाहिए. Either way, I think we'll go for option 1. So please make sure, guys, you revise the concept of premise, you revise the concept of conclusion. I can guarantee you may have seen that during this practice session only, your understanding probably became a little better. Yes. Let me know in the chat if that is the case, or like wala button press kar sakte ho if that is the case. Because it's a revision session, so obviously I'm kind of going through all this with you so that कोई confusion ना रह जाए. Now, you already know what is the conclusion, so let me give you a question on conclusion. Now you are going to get tested on conclusion. You don't need 45 seconds for this, but we are generous from there in time, but you don't need. So you can write done after reading this paragraph, okay? Yes, please. Udeshi, you're missing the main point. These questions are not going to come in CLAT. The concepts are going to get tested. Concept पे focus करो, question type पे नहीं. Concept strong होगा तो आप कैसे भी question कर लोगे. Concept strong नहीं है तो आप हजारों practice कर लो, question type change कर लो, answer नहीं आएगा. Correct? Alright, so tell me, which of the following is the conclusion made by the author? And if you want, you can tell me to show you the paragraph also and दिखा दूंगा, no problem. छोटा सा ही है. तो बताओ जल्दी से क्या होगा आंसर? Ali, now you have options, huh? So you can tell me A, B, C, D. Okay. All right. So I have started getting answers. Am I? Have I? Satyam Anand says B. Okay. But मुझे तो wait करना होगा. I'll wait for a couple of more seconds. Let everybody respond. Satyam says A. B. Tanya says A. Ronak, are you answering for this one? Ronak says B. Manvi says A. Ashmita says A, B, A. So D also. Vaishnavi says D. Walker A. C, B. Taha says C. Alright everyone. तो मैं जरा थोड़ा दे देता हूँ ज्ञान देने का मौका मिले तो छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, है ना? So let me quickly help you here because I can see a lot of wrong answers. Okay. Whenever you are solving a conclusion question, please remember a couple of things. Okay. थोड़ी सी बातें याद रखना, रिवाइज करवा रहा हूँ, ध्यान सुनना. First of all, a conclusion is the main point of the author. Correct? Plus, a conclusion is a definitely true statement. You cannot be half correct when it's a conclusion. And it has to be a definitely true statement. And therefore, as a tip, please remember, whenever you are dealing with conclusion, please avoid extreme words as far as possible. Extreme words, if it's a conclusion question, can be very problematic. I'm not saying you cannot have extreme words in conclusion. You can have words which are extreme in conclusion, but it can be problematic. For example, look at this statement properly, everybody. It says the height of good manners is to put up with bad manners. If this is the case, then possessing the height of good manners is only for a select few. Notice the first thing. It says good manners can be possessed by a select few. Let's say there are 100 people in the world. तो दो लोगों के पास हो सकता है कि मैनर रहेगा जो कि again I have lost power, it will come back, don't worry. So the paragraph is saying that only probably 2 out of 100 people will have good manners. Now pay attention everybody. Is it saying that nobody will have good manners? Is it saying that? नहीं ना. So be very careful. You have to be careful about extreme words, है ना. Paragraph is saying that very few people will have good manners. Very few. Is it saying nobody will have good manners? That's not what the paragraph is saying. Correct. Now look at the options, everybody. I have received A, B, C, D. सारे मिल गए. But I am just helping you. Option B says no one. Option C says not possible. And option D says most people. But the information was about some people. Some means at least one, or it can be most also, but the paragraph talked about very few. Very few is closer to some or closer to most. I think you will agree that if I say very few, I'm talking about negligible number, not the most. If I say very few Indians are billionaires, I don't mean most Indians are billionaires. You see the point? This one is extreme, this one is extreme, this one is talking about most. So better option क्या हुआ फिर? फिर तो we should go for option A. This is how you solve conclusion based questions. Is it clear, everybody? Let me know in the chat box. This is extremely critical to understand when you are dealing with a conclusion based question. वरना बहुत दिक्कत होने वाली है. So Navya, I'll repeat. Extreme words can help you eliminate. Am I saying extreme words can never be part of conclusions? I'm not saying that. How can I say that? Right? Because you can have such a situation. But extreme words can help you eliminate choices. बात समझ में आई सबको? Okay. चलो. Let's try one more. Here is the timer. 45 seconds. Okay. पूरी कायनात आज कोशिश कर रही है कि सेशन ठीक से ना हो पाए. But कोई बात नहीं. We'll make sure it happens, है ना. Light or no light, power or no power, क्लास तो होगी. क्योंकि क्लैट तो पीछे जाएगा नहीं ना, तो हमें सेशन तो करना ही पड़ेगा. Alright everyone, please read and we'll see the question. Uzefa, thank you. अमित कुमार, तुम काफी लेट हो गए लगता है. प्लीज मेक श्योर अमित, आप सेशन स्टार्टिंग से देखो. हाँ, हमने पूरा डिस्कस कर लिया है वो प्रेमिस वगैरह. ओके, थोड़ा सा फास्ट में देख लेना, मोड में 2x पे देख लेना, 1.5x पे देख लेना. ओके, चलो लेट्स गो टू दी ऑप्शन, है ना. ध्यान से पढ़ना, काफी आसान क्वेश्चन है, कर सकते हो बड़े आराम से. प्लीज रीड एंड टेल मी द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, चलो. So let me see. Okay, ऐप पे कोई इशू नहीं है. Now let me check. YouTube पे उदेशी को शाहरुख खान क्यों चाहिए पता नहीं. हाँ जी, तो आंसर प्लीज. व्हाट इज द आंसर? ए बी सी डी. लास्ट क्वेश्चन में ऑप्शन डी में नॉट था, उसकी जरूरत भी नहीं थी. मोस्ट वर्ड विल हेल्प यू एलिमिनेट एज इट इज, मैंने वो बताया. ओके, चलो आगे आंसर भाई. ए, क्या बात है, सब ए पे डांस कर रहे हैं. कोई बी सी डी की तरफ नजर उठा के भी नहीं देख रहा. ओके, चलो बहुत बढ़िया. ए आ गया आंसर, सब कह रहे हैं. चलो, नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स एलिमिनेट. ओके, अली मिठाई वाला बिल्कुल सही. मतलब बिल्कुल सही एज इन तुमने जो पॉइंट बोला. Option C talks about all sanctuaries. Correct. Is the information talking about all sanctuaries? Right. It talks about northern India. It talks about December, February, summer, etc. But is it talking about all tiger sanctuaries? तो थोड़ा अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, नहीं है ना. Okay. Tigers usually venture out in summer and stay inside caves. केव्स, गुफा वाले बाबा जी बना दिया इसको, शेर को बेचारा. शेर इज लाइक, टाइगर इज लाइक, मैं केव में जाता हूँ, कैसी बात कर रहे हो. सो आई थिंक दैट्स नॉट व्हाट द ऑथर इज. डिड आई मिस एनीथिंग? केव वेव है क्या इसके अंदर? मैंने छोड़ तो नहीं दिया? प्लीज हेल्प मी एवरीबडी. डू वी हैव द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट केव? मुझे याद नहीं है, बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक इट्स इवन गिवन, राइट. तो ये तो मुझे लगता है एक्स्ट्रा इन्फॉर्मेशन है, दिस इज देयर टू एलिमिनेट, है ना, तो दिस इज तो वेरी इजी टू एलिमिनेट। सी एंड डी तो गया आंसर में, है ना। सो रौनक क्लियर, ऑल सेंचुरीज आउट। केव, शेर पंजा मार देगा सुनेगा तो बोलेगा अभी क्या लगा रखा है ना, मैंने केव की बात कहाँ की है। तो सी एंड डी आर आउट। ओके, नाउ ए एंड बी। 95% ऑफ द 98% ऑफ द क्लास सेड ए, बी पता नहीं बी किसी ने बोला भी है कि नहीं। लेट मी फर्स्ट चेक ए। सीजनल वेरिएशंस इन टेम्परेचर्स impact tiger sightings, looks like a good point. Okay, एक बार चेक कर लो इन्फॉर्मेशन, है ना। मस्ट बी ट्रू होता है कंक्लूजन, कंक्लूजन इज ऑलवेज अ मस्ट बी ट्रू स्टेटमेंट। एक बार देख लेता हूँ। In one forest sanctuary, tigers can be easily spotted between December and February. In another forest sanctuary, tigers often show up on the northern side. So this is talking about side, this is talking about season. Okay, everybody? ध्यान से देखना। This is talking about location, this is talking about season. In sanctuaries in northern India, tigers can be usually spotted in the summer. This is again talking about season. Unfortunately for tiger lovers, there is no fixed time for recent tiger spotting. Tourism officials are reluctant to publicize recent tiger spottings for fear that crowds may scare off the big cats. Season and location are mentioned, right? And 98% of the class said that seasonal variations in temperature impact tiger sightings. Temperature? Did the paragraph mention that? कुछ ज्ञान चक्षु खुल रहे हैं कि नहीं खुल रहे, जरा जल्दी से बताना। अब सबको बी ज्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट लग रहा है, देख रहा हूं मैं कमेंट्स, है ना। आई कैन सी दैट गाइस। लाइकली टू हैव बीन नो क्राउड्स लिखा है, लाइकली वर्ड को देखो पहले। नो क्राउड इज नॉट एक्सट्रीम, लाइकली वर्ड इज गिवन, द स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट। नाउ रियलाइज योर मिस्टेक हियर एवरीबॉडी। व्हाट इज द मिस्टेक? Temperature was not mentioned. When you read the paragraph, your mind said summer means 49.2 degree in Delhi. Your mind said December means thund. Paragraph did not say it. Paragraph did talk about crowd, and it says, look at this line everybody, pay attention, very very close attention. Tourism officials are reluctant to publicize recent tiger spotting. Officials in the forest do not want people to know about where tigers were seen recently because they think that crowds may scare off the big cats. That means what? Crowds and big cats, they have a relation. Temperature कहाँ से आया? Temperature had no information, or no information was given about temperature in the paragraph, but your mind automatically said if it's season, if it's December, it is cold. Maybe you got impacted by the location you are from, है ना। साउथ में और या गोवा में December is not that cold, but if you're in Kashmir it can be very cold, or Himachal or Delhi also. This is what you have to be very careful about. I hope you understood it. This is what is expected from you. You have been studying for a long time, yes or no? I hope it is clear. It was clear. Correct everybody? Very good. Udeshe, exactly. Summer season is mentioned. So summer in Antarctica does not mean 49 degree temperature, no? That's exactly the point I'm making. ये तो बता रहा हूँ, ये तो नहीं समझे. Okay? Alright everyone. Time starts. जल्दी से पढ़ लो. Have you noticed that Santa Claus comes on reindeer in Europe, but in Australia it comes on jet ski, wearing summer costume, in fact swimming costume. Why? Because in Australia December is hot. So summer or December was nothing about, there was nothing about temperature given, no? It was your mind that created the confusion. Okay, ready? All right everyone. Here are your options. If you want, I will show you the paragraph once again. Okay, chalo. जल्दी से। ये तो एक लाइन का क्वेश्चन है, ज्यादा मुश्किल भी नहीं है ना। I'll show you the paragraph once again, just in case somebody has missed it. Navya, I have answered the question, right? That extreme word wala, है ना? चलो, I have started getting answers. Manvi saying A, D. चलो, I'll show you the options, guys. Once again. चलो, let's see. D, 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 D. But एक आध ने ये भी बोला है, काफी लोग D भी कह रहे हैं. A, D, A, D, A, D, B. Okay, Akanksha is saying B. A. So far I have got A, B, and D. Okay, A, B, and D. Chalo. Let's repeat the points. Conclusion is a statement that is. Conclusion is a statement that is. Oh. चलो मैंने मतलब accidentally I showed you the answer. No problem, but I'll repeat. Conclusion is the option that is bound to follow based on the information. Correct? मैं पीछे जाने की जगह आगे चला गया, तो कोई बात नहीं. You had to know the answer. Now remember, guys, read the paragraph. It talks about ratings, no? It talks about ratings, bolstering rating. But does it talk about revenue? पैसे का कोई mention है क्या? तो conclusion cannot be about पैसा ना. Revenue is पैसा. How much you are earning? Option C talks about older generation, more interested in film music. While the millennials, अरे बाप रे, where is the information? Now look at option D. Option D is very tempting. Now pay attention, everybody. Option B and C were bad, bakwas. Option D is actually confusing. Okay. Now pay attention. Option D says channel owners can influence what is watched by viewers. And read option A. Boosting ratings will bring about some benefit for channel owners. And now read the paragraph. Okay. It says the increase in the number of programs of film songs on television channels bolsters the idea, contention is idea, that channel owners are more interested in boosting their ratings by pandering to the large section of people who are crazy about film songs. Paragraph says that the number of programs which show film songs is increasing, has increased, and it supports the idea that channel owners are more interested in ratings. Now think, why is the author saying that? What is the author's main point here? Channel owners are more interested in rating, and for that they are showing anything. जो लोगों को देखना है दिखाओ, रेटिंग आनी चाहिए. तो ऑथर का मेन पॉइंट क्या है? ऑथर का मेन पॉइंट ये है कि चैनल ओनर इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं. Or is the author saying that they are ready to show anything because ratings are linked to something that these owners are looking for? Yes or no? Just imagine and tell me. Think and tell me. What is the author's main point? Rating is linked to something that owners want, or the author's main point is that channel owners can influence? In fact, remember, D option is as it is out because paragraph is not even talking about the influence the channel owners can have. It's talking about how all that channel owners want is rating. Option D does not even talk about that. Rating के पीछे क्यों पड़े हैं? Nothing is mentioned about it. Whereas the author talks about it only. That was the author's main point. And rating is not mentioned in D at all. So they are after rating because rating must be linked to something. What is that? I don't know. Maybe money, maybe revenue, maybe advertisement, maybe some award they will get because of that. I don't know. Some benefit is there. What is that benefit? I don't know that benefit. But some benefit is definitely there. And that's exactly what the option is saying. I hope this makes the point clear, everybody. Remember, whatever information is given in the paragraph, link that with the author's main point. Don't go beyond that, but make sure योर कंक्लूजन इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट इज गिवन इन द पैराग्राफ, नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट। उसके बाहर जाओगे तो मिस्टेक्स बढ़ जाएंगे। करेक्ट? ऑल राइट, चलो लेट्स ट्राई दिस वन, इट्स अ लॉन्ग वन, रीड फास्ट। Udeshi, I do not know whether that's a compliment or a comment. Chalo. Now I'm pretty sure if you read the paragraph, at the end of the paragraph you would be like, ये कहना क्या चाहता है? You will have that moment, I can guarantee. Read it. But it's a fairly easy question, guys, okay? Right? You will have that moment. क्या बोल रहा है? इतनी बड़ी कहानी सुना रहा है. What is the author's main point? Let's look at the options. Okay? Yes, please. What is the correct answer? Very easy. I'm pretty sure, है ना? Let me check the app also. Ali, very good. Mayur, that's good. Of course, I want that only. Asif bhi samajh gaya. Very good. I exactly want that only. I want you guys to understand. But you will have that moment कि अच्छा ये कहना क्या चाहता है, and then you will be like अच्छा ये कहना, then you would be like अरे ये तो बड़ा आसान question है, yes or no? And that is why you should eliminate choices always. Correct? Look at the choices, guys. I'll help you. The numerical probability value cannot be assigned to a class of women who are smokers. Paragraph talked about how a single probability does not work in case of a single person. If I say a person who is 50 years old and smokes and is obese, he has a 70% probability of a heart attack, it does not mean a single person who fits in that criteria parameters will definitely have or not have a heart attack. It talks about the entire class. Women kahan se aa gaya? You can ask the person who is writing this, women kahan se aa gaya yaar? So option 3 is very clearly out. And if option 3 is out, look at the ladduness of the question. And this is a typical example where the paragraph looks hard, but the question is so easy. Option is so easy. Correct? ये women कहाँ से आया? I, sorry. Right, so very clearly you can eliminate that. Very good, well done. I think everybody got it right. Nobody got it wrong. That's amazing actually. This was the most correctly answered question, है ना? Please read it, everybody. Then I'll show you the question. Shrishti Raj, yes, absolutely. This should be the last question of the day, everybody. We'll wrap it up after this. I think you guys have been working for a long time, the entire day. पूरे दिन तुम लोग के sessions होते रहते हैं. I know that. We'll wrap it up after this, but I hope you found the session useful. Tomorrow, remember guys, we are meeting at 8 o'clock to discuss the generic problems, right? So no Gyan session as such. Generic problems कल discuss करेंगे, how to allocate time. I'll share my experience from last year CLAT, जो मैंने लिखा था, what did I learn, what did I not learn, and things like that. And I'll see if it can help you tomorrow. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock. अभी जरा question देख लेते हैं. So tell me what is the correct answer, everybody? Shazia Sheikh, yes, definitely. We are doing concepts, remember guys, we are not doing passages, okay? We are revising concepts. हम पैसेज नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम कॉन्सेप्ट सीख रहे हैं या रिवाइज कर रहे हैं, सीखा तो है ही ऑलरेडी, है ना? Yes, please. Vanshika, yes. Ashmita says, thank you, sir, for feeling our exhaustion. Yes, Smith, I definitely understand. You guys are working hard. Some of you might have school, some of you might have multiple sessions. I understand completely. मतलब, despite being a teacher, where our job is to push you, I understand you guys get tired and all, है ना? C C C D D D A एक ने बोला A, बाकी सब C और D कह रहे हैं, है ना? A भी कह रहे हैं, नंदिनी सिंह A, बाकी सब C कह रहे हैं भाई. सृष्टि राज ने ये बोला, बट ए एक दो लोग हैं, अली ने भी ये बोला शायद. ताहा ताही सिंह ए फॉर श्योर. उदेशी का बोर्ड एग्जाम भी है, अरे बाप रे, दैट्स टू मच. बट क्या करें, इंडिया हैज द फाइनेस्ट एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम इन द वर्ल्ड, है ना. स्टूडेंट्स की वाट लग जाती है, बट क्या करेंगे. दैट इज वाई वी आर डूइंग ग्रेट ऑल्सो वर्ल्ड वाइड, बिकॉज वी गो थ्रू सो मच ऑफ रिगर दैट अल्टीमेटली वी आर विक्टोरियस, है ना. अच्छा करते हैं हम, अच्छी बात है. थोड़ा और बर्दाश्त कर लो, फिर तो जिंदगी सेट हो जाएगी, है ना. मतलब ऑलमोस्ट. ऑलराइट एवरीवन, सो लेट्स सी व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर. काफी लोग ए कह रहे हैं, बट काफी लोगों ने सी भी बोला है, तो लेट्स एलिमिनेट. इफ यू रीड द पैराग्राफ, इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पैराग्राफ. ओके, तो पहले पैराग्राफ देखते हैं. पैराग्राफ सेज cricket is watched by the masses generally on television. Radio commentary is heard by people who are traveling or who do not have a television set. However, most connoisseurs are people who appreciate, they are the judge of something nice, they are qadrdan, they understand value of things. Nevertheless, means however, most connoisseurs of cricket tend to watch cricket on television and listen to radio commentary at the same time. So paragraph starts by saying masses watch it on TV, some listen to it on radio, but the ones who appreciate cricket, they are a little peculiar. They watch the cricket but listen to the commentary on radio. Now pay attention everybody. Is it mentioned what is the cause behind it? Is the cause mentioned? ध्यान से देखो, क्यों सुनते हैं वो. Cause mentioned है. You would notice that the cause is not really mentioned. So can we say radio commentators are better? I don't know. Maybe those who are listening to the commentary on radio and watching it on television, they like the commentary better. They like the commentary on radio because it is better. Maybe they hear it on radio because it comes in the language in which they are comfortable. हो सकता है ना. For example, on TV it comes, let's say it comes only in English. On radio it comes in Hindi also. I don't have any idea why they listen to it. And how can I say it is better? I can't say that. That is why C is not the correct answer. Again you got confused. बात समझ में आ रही है सबको? Yes or no? Oh, I had to go back a second. So I don't know why do they watch. Okay, now just a second. Now let me show you the fourth one. Radio commentary can make connoisseurs feel they are at the ground. कोई भी cause लिखा है क्या? चेक करना. Nothing is written. Fourth is even worse. So fourth is also out. Now look at B. Cricket is not necessarily a visual sport. Is the author's main point this? No. Author is simply saying that, see, 90% watch it on TV, 7% probably hear it, listen to it on radio, but there are 2-3% people who are the real appreciator of the art of cricket, and they do a weird thing. They watch it on TV but also listen to it on radio. What is the author's point? The author's point is not that the commentary is better or they feel like they are on the ground or it's not a visual sport. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Author is simply saying that radio commentary is preferable to television commentary for many people. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिनको रेडियो कमेंट्री को प्रेफर करते हैं. Now remember guys, prefer is a very interesting word. Do not confuse the word prefer with better. Never do that. Yes or no? If you ask an alcoholic, the person would say whiskey is better than milk, है ना. विस्की का बॉटल मिलेगा तो जिंदगी सेट है. Does it mean the person prefers whiskey to milk? Does it mean whiskey is better than milk? Okay, so I don't want you to say yes in the chat. Okay, don't say that. I hope you get it, right? Prefer is not better. Paragraph nowhere mentions the cause, so you can't say it's better. You can't say it's not a visual sport. You can't say that they feel they are on the ground or they are in the plane or they are in front of the cricketers. कुछ नहीं पता. All we know is कुछ लोग prefer करते हैं. क्यों करते हैं? I have no idea. That's it. Therefore, the correct answer is A. Yes or no, everybody? I hope it is clear. And you saw why it's important to revise the basic concepts. Paragraph के size में मत जाओ. This session was not about paragraphs. It was about the concept. I hope you understand what is an assumption and you also understood what is a conclusion. Correct? Tomorrow we are meeting at 8 o'clock. If you're free, please do come. We'll take up basic issues that we face. For example, things like how to manage time. I'll just share what I know and probably it would help you. Okay, everyone. So make sure assumption ki class 25th ko hai. In fact, I'll just show you. So there are some important sessions coming up. कल है time management and then after that we would do assumptions because इसमें बहुत लोगों को दिक्कत होती है, so we'll do that. And then you on 26, 27, 28 you have sessions by Nivedita and Ankur on legal reasoning and maths. तो आप इनको मिस मत करना. I hope you know these are very important. तो तुम्हें टाइमिंग पता चल जाएगा. If you are new to the channel then you have to subscribe, you should like, of course we'll appreciate that. And I'll see you again. Thank you so much everybody for joining. If you are new to this channel, then you should download the app also. You can do that very easily. Correct? और याद रखना अगर आप CLAT दे रहे हो and ALET दे रहे हो तो हम लाइव एनालिसिस भी करेंगे इसका on 19th and 26th. Correct? So don't go anywhere. Stay and we will do it. And of course you can also subscribe and on YouTube you can follow us on Instagram also. Facebook पे भी हम हैं, चैनल पे आ सकते हैं आप, ऐप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. You can stay connected. Alright everyone, thank you so much everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll see you again. Bye everybody. Those are on the app. Bye. I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye everybody. Thank you.